The image that was on Rastaman Vibration was the first time I ever shot Bob during an interview. How I really met him was going to see him the Wailers, really. This is the first time I think I3's ever performed with, Bob, Peter and Bonnie. They were the opening act for Marvin Gaye at the Carrot Theatre in Jamaica. And I was the art director for the local newspaper called the Jamaican Daily News. What happened with this Marvin Gaye concert is Marvin Gaye was like God. So everybody came to see the main act. But to my historical look, Bob Marley and the Wailers killed Marvin Gaye that night.
When you say Rastaman Vibration, real Rastaman now is going to give you a positive vibration. No matter where you're there, him always lift you up with sounds of, upfulness, wisdom. They will tell you about Rastafari. It's positive. When you say a Rastaman, just know that his vibration is positive. If it's negative, you're not gonna back up. Nah, work. You know what I mean?
It struck me immediately what this man was going to be. I decided we should do a big feature on the Wailers, and we did a 5-page feature on them in the Sunday magazine. That's how I got to meet them and stuff. And maybe a couple months later, I just resigned from the newspaper and start hanging out Hope Road and doing labels for free. I kind of created my job. In those days, art director, nobody knew what the hell that is. And so I could kind of show what I could do and contribute. When I had gone up from the Daily News to visit Bob to do that first interview, I had taken some photographs and I had Xeroxed some of the black and white prints from that session. And as I was doing these things, which I've never done before, but I pretended I knew, the Xerox photocopy came out light. You can barely see it. And I took up my watercolor paint and I started painting over it. This was like a rough idea. I cut it out and I pasted it against some burlap. Burlap was my canvas. It's the hardest material to paint on. In Jamaica, it's like sackcloth. It identified with Rastaman. It's like, this is what John the Baptist would be wearing in the desert. Sackcloth, as we say. The next day, Bob coming downstairs and my little wooden window was open. And no type or anything, just the image there that Middleton MC and burlap. And I only heard a voice from the window say, "And the album cover that." When I look around, that was Bob Marley.
We're not looking at ourselves as musicians and all of that. We're checking ourselves as people. And we feel like if somebody going to force down something on you, we don't really see life in that sense, just accepting what is happening. If the people realize that life is more than just working for the next month until you retire on pension, working is good, but we have to have something else. We have to really respect what we feel, have this atmosphere, we have to respect creation, and then you start search, you will find Rastafari.
I tried to interpret the music. I remember the whole thing with the packaging is, to make it even roots, it was all handwritten. Every single thing in there I wrote by hand. All the lyrics were handwritten. So I came to California to get it printed while the rest of the group were in the studio at Criteria Studio with Alex Satkin mixing Rastaman Vibration album. So when I brought back the printed proofs to show them, what we did with that is we embossed it. So it was grainy to have that kind of crocus bag feel. Yeah, they spent money that time. Because that time too, marijuana had a lot of seed. We didn't know about Sensimilia, about seedless herb. Bob, almost sacrilegious, took the album cover prints from me and started to roll out some herb, the seeds from out the herb. And what happened is, because it has little pockets, the herb would stay and the seed would roll off. So Bob said, man, this album cover good for cleaning herb. And Chris Black was in the studio and Chris Black said, make sure include that on the album. So on the inside, when you open that gatefold, you'd see this album is great for cleaning herb. So that's how Rastaman Vibration ended up being like that. And if it's